Do you find it hard to ask for help or impossible to ask for help and hard to receive it? Do you often wonder why you want to be around other people but don't know how to push yourself out of your comfort zone or allow yourself to rely on other people, and you have these defense mechanisms up, these walls that you've put up that you can't seem to let people get through? Maybe you struggle to allow people to do things for you or to give you compliments. Maybe you struggle with perfectionism. Maybe you even find yourself a little stubborn at times. And so if any of that sounds like you, then this episode is just going to be a phenomenal one for you to listen to, and I cannot wait to get into it. So let's do it. Do you struggle with feeling like you're not good enough and whatever you do, it's never going to be enough? Or maybe you're stuck in this pain loop, but you feel like you have to be strong for everyone else. And underneath, you're kind of collapsing under the pressure because you don't know how to grieve the relationships you've lost or grieve the trauma that you've been through. Your relationship with yourself has been really tough. You feel overwhelmed. Maybe your family is really estranged right now. You're craving more peace. You would love for your family to just be reconciled, for relationships to be reconciled, and you want to have a better relationship with who you are right now. You don't want people to just see you as strong, but you want to be able to open up and be vulnerable with people and have people see you as who you really are. You wonder, am I enough? And you want to see yourself the way that God sees you. If that's you, then welcome to this podcast. This is the perfect place for you to be, and I cannot wait to serve you in all the episodes that we have here. Come join us by subscribing to the podcast, and also come join us in our Facebook group where you can connect with us, talk back, we can share prayer requests, and we can support each other. Thank you so much for being here. Let's get into the episode. Okay, so if you're listening to this on Monday, December 1st, the day that's going live in 2025, then you have like literally less than 24 hours to grab the last day that I have this Black Friday / Cyber Monday sale going on for, you get 4 coaching calls with me. That's a month of coaching, 1 every week. And then you also have the option to add on my course for a very discounted price as well. And this includes a custom plan. You know, this is literally like we're going back and forth in a Google Doc. Like I can write this up for you. You can leave comments. You can tweak things if needed. And this custom plan, all the tools I give you, like anything that comes out of it is all yours at the end of this. But you also get the step-by-step of like, okay, which relationship are you struggling in most? Is it your relationship to God? Is it your relationship to yourself? Is it your relationship to someone else in your life? We pick that, we figure that out, then we create that plan for that relationship, and you walk away knowing what to do, how to take the next right step, whether that's repair, or whether that's, taking your own healing journey, leaning into prayer, leaning into other healing tools, like whatever it is, you will walk away with clarity on that. And that is what's so beautiful about this package. So the link for that is in the show notes. And if you are not listening to this live, and you're listening to it later on, don't worry, because I'm actually going to be opening up spots for one-on-one. And I haven't been doing a lot of one-on-one, and I was like, I'm just going to jump into the program and give people the full solution. But so many of you, I think, just need that trust barrier broken of like, let's just do one call together and see how it goes before you buy a whole program. So if that's you, I have those calls available. Again, like just in one session, you'll also get a custom plan, and then you have the option to keep booking those sessions so that we can keep having that accountability and support. So if that's something that you want, then I will link that below in the show notes as well if you are watching this after December 1st and you want a little bit of support as well. So now let's jump into the content. This can be a very vulnerable subject for some people. I know it has been for me. It's like this desire to want to not look at help as selfish, or not look at it as like I'm being a terrible person if I accept something from someone. It's like this need that like to be a good person, I need to be constantly giving, and I can't ever like take something from someone else, at least not in the spotlight, right? Like maybe like I can give to myself if it's like in private and no one can see me do it because it's like this shameful, icky, horrible thing. But like I couldn't dare do it in front of like people in my church. I couldn't dare let another Christian that I know very well give to me. Like, I couldn't dare accept things from my family because then they might use it against me. Like, right, there's all these things. There's usually trauma wrapped up in it. And I know for me as an oldest child, like, that's a struggle too, because as the oldest child, there was no other older sibling to really like go to. At least like I did have older siblings actually, but they didn't live in the house. So like I grew up as an older sibling in the home and there was really no one to go to ahead of me. And so you get like used to being the go-to person, especially in a home like mine where I grew up without a father. So it was like I had a single mom who worked and no dad to go to. And my mom was like doing everything. And so she would be exhausted and snappy and a little cranky sometimes. And so like, I just kind of felt like I had to just do it all myself. Like I had to do everything for me and then I had to do things for other people. And there was no one for me to go to besides God. But even that I struggled with. So if you're in that camp too and you are wondering like, how do I shift my mindset about this? How do I become a person who looks at things differently or is able to receive help or, you know, can at least not get to the point of burnout from driving myself to exhaustion? We're going to get into it. So my first point here is that there's nothing shameful about needing other people. In fact, the Bible tells us we need other people, and it tells us that in multiple ways. But one of the ways it tells us that is by telling us that God created us to be with other people. So God actually built interdependence, right? Like this idea that we're all interconnected. We all are connected. We all need each other. We are one body as the church, right? And Christ is the head. Even that picture that the Bible gives us of Christ being the head of a person and the body being the church. And then it also goes down further, and it might be the same passage or a different one. You'll have to look this up. I did not come prepared with the scriptures. Sorry, guys. But in another scripture, it talks about how, you know, we all have different parts, but it doesn't make one person more valuable than the other. It was like, would the arm say to another part, like, I don't need you? Something like that. Sorry, I don't have that scripture memorized either. Anyways, go look those scriptures up because they're good. But I think you get what I'm saying is that, like, we all have our own roles, but we all support each other in it. Like, it's so important. It's funny because I was actually just giving my toddlers a pep talk today after they were threatening to hit each other about how we do not hit and how when one person in the home makes a decision that is negative, it breaks the peace of the home. And it breaks the atmosphere, not for just that one person, but for everyone else in the home too. And so I was trying to explain to them, you know, as much as you can to a toddler, that the choices we make affect each other and we are one team. And we all need to contribute to the team in positive ways. We all need to support each other and support our house, and we need all the roles to make it function. And then I was trying to explain to them, what are the different roles? What is your role as a toddler in this house? And so it's the same thing as like, we need to understand this within our family. We need to understand this within our marriage. We need to understand this within our church. We need to understand this in friendships and in our, you know, wherever you work, whether that is in your home or whether that's you work outside of the home, but from home, if that makes sense. Or if, you know, you go to a job or you have part-time work, like right wherever you're at, even if it's like, I volunteer in the church, it's like, okay, but you have all these different roles in your life, right? And a lot of times that can get overwhelming too. We can feel like, oh, well, I have to be so many things to so many different people. But when you're able to break those down and they become really clear, like, have you ever actually detailedly written out all the roles that you do, like all the things that you do and contribute to and all that? That could be really fun homework for you, just to sit down and give yourself grace and say like, oh, I'm actually doing a lot. Like, maybe it is time to take something off my plate, or maybe I just need to give myself the permission to rest. Like, maybe I need to be grateful for all these roles, but also like show myself some love that like, hey, you've been doing all this. It's time to rest. Anyway, so self-sufficiency often is like a result of trauma, or even, you know, not to say if you are self-sufficient, it means you were traumatized. Like, maybe it doesn't. But I have met many people who've walked through different types of trials and traumas, and a lot of the times self-sufficiency or like putting those barriers up are a result of that. And the thing is, the barriers the walls that we put up are what cause us to become self-sufficient, because you have no other choice, right? Like if you're going to block other people out, then you have this feeling and this need to like do everything yourself, because who else is going to do it for you if you're not allowing anyone else in? But it's important that we recognize that the Bible does say to bear one another's burdens. It wants us to collaborate with other believers and even non-believers, right? How else are we going to share the gospel? So it's so important that we do that, and that we're willing to do that, not just in a way of like, oh, well, I'll only collaborate with other people when I'm serving them, and I'm never going to let them return that favor to me, because you do have to allow people to serve you back and to give you things sometimes. Because what if God told them to, right? Like, what if God laid that on their heart and now you've blocked the blessing that the Lord was giving them of serving you, right? And that's been a mindset shift for me. That's really helped me, is recognizing that like when somebody offers me help, if I say yes, I am blessing them because I'm accepting a gift from them. And I as a gift giver, it's a little easier for me to understand because I love it when someone accepts a gift from me and they like genuinely appreciate it, you know? And it feels good. You're like, yes, I love giving to you because you're a good gift receiver, right? And so then I've been able to switch my mindset around and say, I want to be a good gift receiver because that is a gift to the person giving me the gift. Like that feels good to them. They will feel accomplished. And there might be a heavenly blessing on the other side of that as well, right? So I don't want to block someone else's blessing by not receiving, is what I'm saying. So, and then the other thing is that it doesn't just, take that from them, but it can also block connection. It can block intimacy, and God may be trying to grow connection and intimacy between you and that person. Like I know for me, I prayed for a friend for a long time. Like I struggled in friendships. I didn't have friends. And so it was something that I prayed about and was like, Lord, when is my friendship coming? When am I going to find my friend group? Like, I was watching other people have friends my entire childhood, my entire teenage years, and even young adult years, and wondering like, where were my friends? And so now looking back, I think like I probably would have been able to find more friends if I was able to receive from people, but I wasn't, and I was very closed off, and I hid myself in a lot of ways. So anyways, moving on to the second point here. Receiving help requires vulnerability, and that's where God does his best work. So receiving help exposes our needs, it exposes our limits, and sometimes our imperfections. And that is what makes it feel vulnerable. But those are the exact places that God will meet us, and he will do like supernatural healing. Like the healing that you may have been praying for 5 years could happen in maybe 30 minutes if you were just willing to open up and let yourself be vulnerable. You really never know when the Lord is going to step in and do that healing. And sometimes it's in an instant, and sometimes it's just gradually over time. So just be willing to get vulnerable with the Lord and with other believers, because I think that will pay off so much for you in the long run. And another point here is that many women, they can feel like the shame around asking help. Well, I should be able to handle it, or I should be able to do more, or other moms, other wives, other women don't struggle with this or like this. But God calls us to humility. He doesn't call us to perfection. And I think that sometimes if we're struggling with perfectionism, like this idea that we should be able to have it all together and, like strive to this unattainable expectation in our mind, then we kind of like shame ourselves with our own thoughts, and we talk ourselves out of things that might be good for us, and we talk ourselves into things that are bad for us. So just be paying attention to what's going on in your mind and be humble. Realize that you're human and that you have human weaknesses. You have needs too, and it's okay to recognize those things and to not feel like you have to like go until your last breath and like never rest, because that's not biblical. That's not what God expects of us. Okay, and then the other thing here is that I want you to know that letting other people serve you is not a weakness. Sometimes it's an act of obedience, and sometimes it's what you need to transform your heart, your marriage, and your nervous system. And again, maybe it's a blessing for them as well. Like I truly enjoy serving people. And if I walked around and everyone around me was stubborn and never let me like serve them or give them anything, then that would hurt my heart in the end. And they might think that they're doing it for my own good. Like, oh, no, I don't want you to serve me because like we're equal, or, like I'm not better than you, or I can do it myself. But what that does is it blocks the connection. It blocks me from the blessing of serving. And there's a reason that like we're supposed to serve in the church and serve God, and like those things are blessings. Serving other people is blessings, and God called us to serve. And so if none of us are willing to accept being served, then who will there be left to serve? And then therefore we could not live out the commandment to serve as God told us to. Okay, and the last thing here as we wrap up is I want you to practice clear, grace-filled asking so your family knows how to support you. And this goes for your friends too, anyone close to you. But just start with a couple people, because, you'll need to practice. It's not going to feel magically more comfortable in an instant most of the time. I mean, maybe God will just take that uncomfortability away from you, and you can certainly pray over that. But so usually it doesn't just snap its fingers and it's gone. It's usually like this gradual thing of like, oh, I'm going to practice being uncomfortable. And then that thing slowly becomes more and more comfortable, and you can step into new depths of uncomfortability. But just practice. Start with 1, 2, 3 people and just practice communicating what you need from them and making it very clear, making it very humble, making it very like give grace if they don't meet those expectations. But I just want you to remember that accepting help with gratitude, not guilt, not apology, models healthy dependence. To anyone watching you, your kids, your husband, friends, like other people in the church, when you do it, it gives other people the permission that it's okay to accept help. It's okay to admit to someone that you need help and ask for it. It is okay. So if you need help with accepting help, perfectionism, just, healing some of that, the residual trauma that's leaked its way into your view of yourself, God, and your relationships with others, then I would love to do some coaching with you. Those links are in the show note below. If you're watching today, grab the Black Friday link while for the last day it's up. And if not, then grab a coaching call with me. And of course, always come join us in the Facebook group. We would love to have you in there and to chat with you. I hope you guys have a great day. Thank you for listening. Thank you so much for listening to this episode. I hope you got so much value out of it. And if you loved this episode, could you do me a quick favor and click 5 stars and leave me a review? It would do wonders for spreading the podcast out to other people who need it. And it only takes a few seconds. If you have an additional few seconds, why don't you go ahead and screenshot the episode and share it to your stories so we can spread the message and get more families healed. Thank you, and until next time, I will be praying for you, and I hope you have a blessed day. Bye.